How's everybody doing today? Thinkin Game Podcast. We back in full force in the house. We got Peel, we got Jay, and we got Mike. I hope everybody had a good 4th of
Aha.
July.
Uh,
Hope everybody got to pop their fireworks. Hope everybody stayed safe. But we know one person that wasn't safe, and we finna get
off,
right into it.
off the bat. No, just
Bo Extra reportedly blew his hand off playing around with fireworks. And them look like the little M1000s, or they're like something bigger than the M1000, big as your hand. They're like some crazy stuff, man.
he said he was about
And
to blow something
yeah, I
up.
know, right? Yeah, them,
Yeah.
them fuses like fast too.
I'm a daredevil, you know what I mean? But I test it out before I even think about lighting something and
The
holding it in my hand.
boy,
You know what I mean? I used to do a
it,
lot of this stuff when I was a kid, but man, you
man.
gotta
The
see
question is, can
what's
you
in the
say I'm
future.
about to blow something up before that fuse get to the red? And apparently he didn't.
And you can't. And every year,
No filler
it
words. You
seems
can't use no filler
more
words.
different.
You can't use no filler words. You gotta say it and put that mud down. I think his whole hand is gone, bro. I
Yeah,
think they had pictures of it. They blanked it out, but they was like his whole hand probably gone,
yeah. I
man.
saw the picture. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
ain't no respawning. Ain't no respawn. This ain't Grand Theft Auto. Ain't no respawning. Ain't no do over, man.
Yeah,
It's a
And
wrap, man.
and coming from the adult side of it, you know what I mean? You can't even claim
Yeah.
that on your insurance. You know what I
Whew.
mean?
If he had
Some
insurance,
insurance
yeah.
policies don't cover fireworks.
mhm.
Then he always talking about fighting. Going to going to the pen, fighting or the jail. More of that. You don't want to go to jail with one hand.
I
I
think
guess he didn't see blood and bone. He didn't see blood and bone, man.
I don't know. Them people with them nubs got some little power.
Huh?
People with them nubs, man. That's so.
Hey, but there's a press
Mhm.
node. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You
know,
know,
right?
see that
Yeah.
nerves
Yeah.
there still be a scar. So,
Man.
man, that's terrible. Be careful
Woo.
with those fireworks.
Woo. Especially those. Like them ain't like sparkles. You know what I'm saying? Playing with a
Yeah,
Roman candle. M1000 like a little small thing of dynamite pretty much, man. It's just all gunpowder.
yeah. I used to work in the ER. You know what I mean? So I know
Oh
be
man.
careful. You know.
Boy. Yeah, working that's one thing people don't talk about back being a doctor or being a nurse. Days like this, like you see stuff like that. That real replay in your head, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine, somebody come in, what happened? Man, his whole hand gone. Like what? It ain't nowhere now. It
Mhm.
blew up. Ain't no ain't no pieces to pick up. It's gone. It blew up, man.
Somebody said that's that Unc 607 voodoo curse he put on
Boy, hand look like
Boy,
hamburger helper. Boy, hand like hamburger meat, boy. Man, that's
him. Yeah.
crazy.
Say
shake
he
it up,
pressed.
shake it up, shake it up, shake it.
Yeah, he pressed dude last week, putting his hand in his face, and a
Oh
week
yeah, he
later,
went
that's
off. Yeah, he pressed. But Unc know what he be doing though, man. He be always agitating people though, man. You know what I'm saying? He know what he be on, man. He be on some other stuff, man. Oh, messing with Nelly, man. Nelly gonna see him, man. He be sitting there talking about Nelly. He wrote country grammar and all that. It's like, man, come on, man, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
And also, that's why this episode, men's mental health. Rest in peace to young noble of outlaws, man.
Yeah.
Thing they said reportedly he died of an apparent suicide. And the question is, how does a man maintain his mental health in today's time when it seems like everybody's attacking men, social media and stuff like that?
You're supposed to just shake it off. You know, no, nothing's supposed to get to you. You know what I mean? You can't have emotions. You can't grieve.
Yeah.
Um, but we're not made of stone,
Hmm.
so you
Hmm.
got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
What you think, Bill?
Hey, same thing, man. And just and then him being like, I think he was like 47 or something like that.
Yeah, 47, right.
Yeah.
I'm 42. You
So
know what I'm saying? It's only a
ain't no
5 year
check.
difference.
You know what I'm saying?
I think, too, I think the first thing I think about is he was at the highest level with Tupac when he was with Tupac on Hail Mary and them songs and stuff like that.
Ain't,
And then, over the years, he probably just came back down that hill. Man, that got to be a large hill to, go down. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Um, Number two, man, as a man, I know Jay was like that, raised in that old school everybody pops, you know, you got to be like Stone. But it seemed like people think that way is toxic. But if you don't understand how that works, sometimes life can come at you in different ways. As far as mentally wise, because as a man, if you do certain things, you're toxic now. You know, you do certain things, you're wrong. You can't do this, you can't do that. Double standards, race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
make this much money. You got if you don't got this much money, what are you? You know,
you gotta
all
rate
kind of
yourself
stuff.
as a man on your own standard. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because if you look at the internet standard, you
Mm-hmm.
know, nobody lives up to that standard. You know what I
Nah.
mean?
It's
So
all smoke and
have a
mirrors, baby.
realistic standard and what you should expect from yourself. Uh, and you don't know, you got it good. You know what I mean? So when he was hell bent with outlaw days, he didn't know that that was as good as it was gonna get. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And you got to think about it now.
Yeah.
When you were 25, your body worked well. You know, you spoke correctly. You know what I mean? You don't know. 5 years, 10 years later, you know what I mean. You can be in the hospital bed. You can be paralyzed.
Man.
Um, so this could be the moment. This could be your best. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And him having that realization that Tupac ain't coming back. We ain't never
Mm.
gonna have a hit record again on the radio. Maybe
Yeah.
it's too much for him.
Man. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, fellas, men, take care of yourself, man.
Man.
Got a health check,
Yeah,
bro. And it's okay to ask for help sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah. What keeps a man from asking for help? Is it ego? Is it pride? Or is it
Um,
just what y'all
Neither
think?
one. You just conditioned like that from the time you like a little kid. Hush up,
Yeah.
boys ain't supposed to cry. Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
People just don't ask for help. Women don't ask for help either. They don't want to be soft. Um, and you see everybody else handling business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know he's $100,000 in debt. You don't know. So you're comparing yourself to an impossible standard. You're only
Mm.
seeing the outside of your fellow man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mike get it. Why can't I get it? Well, Mike suffering from depression. Mike's in debt. You know what I mean? Or Mike
Mm-hmm.
works very, very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So, with that being said, go to the next one. But man, yeah, man, take care of your mental health, man. Don't allow life or people or talk to cause you to go down a place. We're gonna have a slide on that later too. So, the Diddy aftermath.
Mhm. He still probably end up doing.
So they said not guilty on 3 of the 5 counts. They said the counts that he was it something with prostitution, pretty much. And they said those counts like a maximum of 10, but there's no minimum, so he could possibly go on home. But the question is, after the verdict, when he's free, will people start to reach out when he touched down? People try to get him on podcasts, friends that was wasn't around when you was in trial. Yo, man, what's going on, man? You know how they be, you know what I'm saying? When you on the hot seat, everybody kind of separate from you when you make a mistake or when you do something crazy. But then when you get out, everybody back, you know what I'm saying?
As done at the majors. You know what I mean? They abandoned him when he was going to his trial, and now
Yeah.
they're trying to be his friend. You know what I mean? Now they're taking pictures with him and making good on the red carpet. Um, it's crazy how that works. You know what I mean?
I mean, don't you think that in all phases of life, like how many dudes do we know? When we and people were just talking about this before we got online. I was watching Act of Self Protection. It was these 2 dudes. They was trying to rob this house, and they went through the back door and opened the patio door. And the owner shot one dude, and the other dude just took off. Like, should he have grabbed him and pulled him, or do he just leave him right there?
You know, when you're in that kind of game,
Yeah,
it's the run. Hey, if you healthy, run.
Yeah.
If you're
yeah,
not, you stuck there. You the one that got
yeah,
shot.
yeah.
So they
It's
just
tough.
pulled your
It's a tough
card that
part
day.
about life. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Self
everybody is
preservation
do
real,
part,
man.
do
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? Hey,
yeah,
did he turn and get caught? He could have turned
yeah,
stage evidence. He turned everybody in, but he did.
yeah.
You know,
I think that's probably why he got off on a lot of stuff too. I think some people pulled some strings behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised because they didn't want all that stuff to get out.
yeah.
And it's like you got to take something. We ain't gonna get away scot free. You gonna have to take something though.
Hey, but look what happened to Epstein. You know what I mean? Hey, did anybody mysteriously commit suicide after this? You know what I mean? They
Yeah, he
don't
old.
want
I think they said he got hepatitis or something like that, or some weird
they don't
disease or
want
something like that.
secrets to get out.
Allegedly.
I think
Like,
the thing that's crazy is like with Epstein, right? Like if you know he got a reputation and you know he'll probably pull something like that off, why even go try out for it? Like if you like the later vid, not the beginning, the people that didn't know. I'm talking about after the reputation's out, because he had a reputation for it. You know what I'm saying? Even with Diddy, he had a reputation for it. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. You know what I mean? So they're attracted to that. You know what I mean? Oh, he do that. You know, he can get me this. I
Mhm.
want that. You know what I mean? And oh, I
Yeah,
heard they keep it discreet. Nah. So to me, all the people is kind of guilty because they want what Epstein had. They want what P Diddy was selling.
mm. Yeah. I think Spike plays a part in it too. Like they didn't get what they want, so now they're gonna try to out you and stuff like that. Um, this man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy all the way around the board, man. You
But
know what I'm
look how
saying?
long his reign was. You know what I mean? He was doing the Diddy parties for years.
Yeah.
Think about how long Epstein was. I'm
It,
not Epstein, but Harvey
Weinstein,
Weinstein. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Even for regular dudes in the hood, we heard it like, man, if you mess with this kind of girl, she gonna slash your tires. She's gonna bust your windows. And how many dudes still talk to that same girl that's gonna slash the tires and bust their windows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hey y'all seen that movie Blink Twice?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
There's
name of the movie?
The thing about that movie, she got to that island twice. You know what I mean? So that's crazy.
yeah, Blink Twice is crazy.
Yeah.
That was her second time going. You know what I
Doing
mean?
it was really all a bunch of them. Like they just kept going coming back, or he was
Boy.
giving them something that make them forget something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pick one oh wait a minute. I'm picking the wrong one. Pick one. Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me, or No Limit, I'm Body Body. Which song you think if you had to pick one?
Yeah, get a boy.
Mine playing tricks on me is a classic. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You can't the beat, the cadence of their voices. You know
Boom,
what I
boom,
mean?
boom, 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 boom.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
that when you hear it. You know what I mean? But about it, man. It just holds a
That
special
was the
place in my
perfect
heart.
storm.
You know
I think
what
that
I
was the
mean?
perfect storm, man. He came. That's like the perfect storm, man. It's like gang time, like 92, 93. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm Body came out. Man, that beef on Body though. I don't know that. I mean, can you imagine going to the Big Bamboo at that time? They probably didn't even play that in the club, bro. They probably like, nah, we ain't playing that.
No,
You
they
know what I'm
definitely
saying?
played.
They did. I
For
know they didn't
sure.
play that dirty song. I wish they didn't play that in the club. They did not play that in the
Boy,
club.
I
No doubt
love that
about it.
song.
That was guaranteed to go get something started at the end.
Oh yeah.
But that's
Was
a
it was it
very
Big
hard.
Bamboo that time or was it another
Hmm.
club? Was it Elevation? Was it Big Bamboo that time? Were they open in
It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah,
before our time?
it's
Yeah.
everywhere.
It was junior high, yeah, boy. But yeah, Mind Playing Tricks on Me is a classic though, because I mean he narrated the story like how most dudes kind of go through that. Your mind playing tricks on you, man. You know what I'm saying?
So it ain't even
Boy,
close to Halloween.
boy.
And it was like an episode of a show that you never got tired of watching. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Friday, come on regular TV, you gonna watch it. You gonna watch. You gonna listen to Mom playing tricks on me. but I gotta go out and bat it. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know why. There's a very, very close
Man,
decision on
man,
the
that beat, the beat, the lyrics. And if you lived in the projects, you definitely feel about it though. It's just like you just feel the griminess of that song.
Like original Tubi movie.
Like what projects do you imagine when you hear about it? What's like some of the projects you imagine when you hear that song?
Oh yeah.
Like I
home.
see Granite Mountain, I see Granite Mountain 100%.
Oh,
The real projects back there in the East End before they just ain't nothing but grass now, but the real project way back in the jungle, man. Call it
uh,
the jungle.
was
Shout
I
out
was
to
it
see
all my
that.
West Gators on now.
Silver
Boy.
City boy?
Boy, Silver City. I got a picture of that too. Shorter Garden. Yeah, man, for real.
Mm,
But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments who you got. Mind playing tricks on me? About it with Master P.
it still kind of keep freezing too.
Who? Me?
The computer. Yeah.
Okay, let me I'm about to close out these sound effects then. Maybe that's what it is. Let me see. Been doing that lately, man. What about now? Still
No, you
freezing?
good. No, you
All
good.
right. Okay, cool. All right. What are some of the skills learned in the trenches that can carry over to the adult life?
Yeah. Ugh.
We got. Is that
Minimum,
sign still there?
minimum.
Is that sign still there? Welcome to the South End. Is it still there?
That's the new sign.
That's the new sign? Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the
You
new
got
sign.
Hanger Hill. You got Shorter Garden. You got Spanish Valley. Then you got
Minimize
Silver City Court.
basic.
They ain't even there no more.
Uh,
They done rebuilt Silver City Court now. They used to old Silver City Court.
you know how little you actually need to survive. You know what I mean?
Boy,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's true.
Because
Yeah.
now we spoiled. We think we need all this. We need internet. We need Wi-Fi. We need
Mm.
this many bedrooms and that many bedrooms. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We need bed. We need a bed frame. We need a bed. No. Sometimes it's
No.
best on the floor. Once you get
Boy.
something.
Yeah.
So,
And then have a bed frame had crates under that mud.
yeah, you
Yeah.
talk about let's get three sides. You know what I mean? The main, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get one side, sometimes you get three sides, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they teach you how much you really need to survive.
Mhm.
Yeah. Learn how to predict stuff. Predict
Yeah.
stuff that's gonna happen. I don't need what was that woman name? I don't need Miss Cleo to know that if them dudes keep arguing, it's gonna go down. I don't need Miss Cleo for that.
I'm outside, we don't need cable.
Yeah.
Boy, for real.
No, once nighttime hit, that's when creep. That's when they out. So it's time to go
Yeah,
in.
you learn the difference between being smart and being stupid in real life. Like
Yeah.
what Juvie said, I ain't scared, but I ain't dumb and I ain't stupid. They try to use that. Man, you scared, man. Oh no, I'm good, bro. You can have that, man.
Mhm.
You definitely learn how to deal with peer pressure in the projects, whether good or bad, but you definitely learn how to deal with it though.
Mhm.
100%. And
Learn how to read situations, read people, you know what I mean? So,
100%. Yeah. They help you in the corporate world because, like I say, man, a lot of times, only difference is they just can't do violence in the corporate world. They may do some little crazy mental stuff, but they can't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna come in and shoot you like in the project. Somebody might shoot you, but they
Oh,
ain't gonna do that at the job. But they do
oh
other
no.
little tactics, though. Huh?
Oh no.
You think so?
Oh
I mean,
no.
it's like rare. He's like, like the postal when dude went postal and all that kind of stuff, but that's,
Yeah, oh
you know what I'm
no.
saying?
It might be one person that hey,
Go off the rails.
yeah,
hey,
man.
like that health dual shooting CEOs of healthcare, you know what I mean? So
Cause
Yeah.
we had like one of our branches in I want to say it was either Milwaukee or Texas.
Yeah.
Coworker went crazy and man
Yeah.
shots on that people.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ain't never. But I'm talking about as far as like dealing with managers and stuff. They may like micromanage and say crazy stuff, but if you saw them outside of that, they not gonna. They probably wouldn't even. They just try to be nice to you. It's like they. Some people like that at the job. They're a different person than when you see them outside. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean they got control, they got some
Yeah.
power at work, you know what I mean? At the house, I ain't had no power, so
Boy, for
Yeah.
real.
they can't control their kids, can't control their husband or wife. So
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, guys. What's some of the skills that you learned in the trenches that can carry over to the adult life? You know what I'm saying? Let us know. The next slide is being able to assess your individual strengths and weaknesses without beating yourself up. I think this is one thing to kind of prevent sometimes mental health, being able to know where you at any point in time. Because a lot of times people might not agree with what you're doing. They might not exactly like or know what you're doing, but you got to be able to assess yourself to know what you're doing. You can't depend on other people all the time. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
judging yourself on somebody else's standard. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be done with school by a certain age. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Having that in your mind and letting that blind you, listening to where you're supposed to be and not where you are, you'll never think you're quite good enough, and that
Right.
leads to mental health breakdown, and you will be just like the gentleman we spoke about in the first slide. Uh,
Yeah.
just run your own race.
Yeah.
Yep. What you think,
Yeah.
Pill?
Yeah. Same. Like I say, first, you even though you're strong at it, I mean, you still gotta continue being strong. But you gonna beat yourself up regardless. Me personally, that's what I think. But don't beat yourself up too bad to where you like, damn boy, I can't do nothing right.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah,
like,
you
say,
can, so beating yourself up. It can be a little self motivating. You know what I mean? I need to get off my butt. I need to work harder. I need to do that. But so it's good to some extent.
mm-hmm.
But we talking about the dangerous levels. You know what I mean? Where you're taking yourself out because you feel like you're never good enough. That's
Mm-hmm.
very dangerous.
Yeah, I think when you think about the movie Bloodsport, right? It seemed like that analogy, like being prepared for life. He wanted to go fight at the Kumite, and he said, "You want to go fight at the Kumite? Well, let me help you. Let me train you first." And the
Yeah.
training that he had to go through. Sometimes, like they think about it as a man, like he had to let him hit him with a bamboo stick. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't for an abuse; is to get you ready for what you're gonna face. You know what I'm saying at the Kumite, because
And
they
that
gonna
was
kick you as hard as I swing this bamboo stick. They gonna kick you in your ribs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might as well stretch yourself out. You know what I mean? And shout
Yeah.
out to Bloodsport. That was a young Forrest Whitaker. You know what I mean? To the CIA.
He
So
was he was
His eye wasn't even messed up by then, was I think no.
it was
Forrest
all.
Whitaker had a crazy movie run. He done played in a diverse range of movies, bro.
he was young. I don't remember ever.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever
Go watch
being
the
He
young.
Crying Game. Go watch the Crying Game. You ever watch the
still,
Crying Game when he was in that? The Crying Game.
I don't ever
Dude, he
remember
plays
being.
some roles, man.
yeah.
He was probably about 45 then.
And he seemed like
Yeah. Boy.
it's like we kept
Yeah.
going up, and then he kept. I'm like, man, he 40. He was 40 back then.
But yeah, some people, it's hard for some people to admit what they're not good at, though. Especially for men. Sometimes they don't want to admit what they're good at. They want to say they know everything. And I'll say in a minute, man, I do not know. Especially at work, they were like, man, you know I do this? Nope. If you show me what I'm doing, then I probably figure it out from there. But because I think I struggled with that when I was young. I was like, I think I could do anything. I still think that, but I still know there's some things that I can't do. I have to probably learn to, figure it out. Just like with this stuff, with this podcast. When I first started, I didn't know how to do this stuff. I had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Know where your strength is, and then know your weaknesses is, and strengthen those weaknesses. As you go. You know what I'm saying? And because if anybody out there be like, man, how do I make content? Dude, just make it, man. It's not gonna be perfect, man. Unless you're a perfectionist. I'm not no perfectionist at all. Just make it, man. Sometimes you just got to get used to talking on the mic. Them first few episodes may not be the greatest thing in the world, but you just got to get used to doing it, used to making it. You know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself
Man,
up about it. Some people probably give you advice. Maybe you should say this. Maybe you should say that. Guess what? I'm not wired the same way as you are. You know what
and a
I'm
lot of
saying?
people got a lot of advice and scared to do an episode. You know what I mean? Scared to get on in camera. I may
Yeah.
not be the best at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
May not be the perfect talker. Oh,
Right.
but I'm better than you because I'm out here trying. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect for comedians. You know what I mean?
Boy,
I'm
for
funny
real.
person to person, but they honing their skills. They are getting out there in front of somebody. So you just
Even
got to try.
Saturday Night Live, to do that live, if they're doing it live, Saturday Night Live, doing skits live, that ain't easy to do, man. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy.
It's not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the next slide is, as a man, is it possible to avoid going down the path of depression?
Yeah, it's most
What y'all
definitely.
think about that?
Yeah, it's possible to avoid it, man. But and depression is real. Depression is
Oh,
real, and you
100% is real.
won't even
Yeah.
know it. You look up and be like, dang. Because I had suffered from a while back,
Yeah.
losing, my brother and my dad in the same year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Took me down through there,
Mm.
but you know, eventually came up out the slump. It was bad,
Right.
but and you don't even know you going down that road. So you be like,
Oh,
whoa.
that's what I'm saying, right? You don't know. Like, I think I see myself like, I don't know, maybe something like God wired my brain. I can see myself going somewhere I don't want to go, and I'll stop like mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like where that's going, where my brain's going. Let me stop right now. Like, I don't even want to know what the outcome is. I'm just gonna stop right now, if that even makes sense to anybody. I'm just saying that's kind of how my brain works. You know what I'm saying? I think the I was really close when I got fired from Red Cross, and I was trying to find a job, and I couldn't find nothing before I started going to school, but I stopped myself midway. I think if I didn't have a comedic kind of mindset, I probably would have went down that road. But being able to joke through stuff, joke around, you know, being honest with myself, what can I get better at? Like just really breaking myself down and rebuilding myself. I think that kept me from going down that road. But I probably was really close to crossing that bridge. I think I stopped myself while I seen the bridge coming up. I think I was like, nah, I ain't going over that bridge. I'm good. I don't want to, cause you just don't never know. Cause I always tell kids, you just don't know when you go down that bridge, you don't know what's on the other side, and you hope you can come back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some people don't even make it back. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I just wanted to
and
answer
that's
that
a
question.
good point. The Peel was saying he didn't control losing those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He didn't. He didn't. They didn't ask him, "Oh, are you ready to lose your dad? Is
Mm.
this a good time for you?" You know
Right.
what I
right.
mean? He's going by living life. Life's hard, and then to add this on top of that, it
Mm-hmm.
just feels like too much. You know what I mean? And then you lose your job. You used to getting income. You know what I mean? Your identity is attached to that. You know what I mean? Who am I without this? I've always made a way for myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even for me, I haven't been working. Lost part of my body, speech, and stuff like that. It's easy to get in that mindset
Man,
that it's over.
for real.
You know what I mean? Life is over.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Because I wasn't making enough anyway. Now I'm not making
Mm-hmm.
nothing. It's over. It's
Mm.
it's going downhill. God wouldn't do this to me. You know what I mean? Uh, but it's the unique personality you have to see uh, the problems that you have that makes you don't do it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
people could have did it. You know what I mean? Forget it.
Well,
You know what I mean? Because it was totally different between Mike. Mike could have did it. So forget it, man. You know what I mean? Forget this.
Yeah,
They not.
Jacob says, as a black man, depression seems unavoidable. Other cultures have more of a support system than we do.
mm,
Somewhat, I can kind of see what he's saying.
It's
The
just a
angle that
part of
he's,
life, and it's
yeah,
depression is we depressed for real reasons because we lost a job, because our kids can't eat, because my father died. It's not
mm-hmm,
imaginary. It's not the fake stresses of life. You know what I mean? It's real things. I can actually tell you why I feel
Yeah.
down, why I feel bad. You know what I mean? In some other cultures, it's imaginary.
Yeah.
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 I know. When I first had to go to the unemployment office, man, it was a shock, man, because
Humbless.
not only do you have to wait in the longest line, seem like the longest line you have to wait in just to get in there, just to get in the door. If you get there late, you know what I'm saying. Then you got to go to a computer, sign up for it. Then you got to get in line again, wait in the lobby area. But the people that you see, and you be like, man, there's no way, man. Like it's people, you be meeting people like the people that you meet in there. You be like, man, I said, man, you gonna be good, man. I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years. You like, what? How can you live like this? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, there's no way. I was like, nah, man, I ain't gonna do that, man. You know, maybe that's how God lined it up, like meet somebody to show you like how low it can get.
You
You know what I'm
realize
saying?
it's levels to
Yeah.
this. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
was
mean?
like, man, that's crazy. I'm
You
talking
get
about
on
people
the
that we
top for
knew. It's
the
like
whole
people that
time.
you grew up with. You be wondering like how so and so do it. Do you see them and they're like, yeah, I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years. It's like, man, that's crazy.
Yep.
Jacob said, since I've become an adult, I notice how a lot of white men don't get jobs based on merit, but usually it's through a family member. Yeah, that's a two
Man,
sided coin.
he
That's a
said,
two sided coin. Yeah, because sometimes you got to ask us why are our family members not in position. Sometimes they not. Sometimes they are. You know what I'm saying? And now the tables are actually starting to turn because they're actually getting laid off too. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
They actually are starting to lose their jobs. I know where I live at, I see more of them homeless than I see us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm
but
talking about in
we live in
Southwest, in the belly of the well. You know, I didn't even know that many of them was in Southwest like that. You know, I went to Walmart the other day. I'm like, man, that's a lot of thems over there, you know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah,
like,
so
man.
I used to work 3 days a week at my main job at the hospital. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
got a retail job, just to change the pace and another source of income. And
yeah.
I saw a lot of them, a lot of oranges on using
Boy.
EBT, having
Yeah.
WIC and stuff like that, government assistance. So
Yep. That's why this big beautiful bill, they think it's gonna affect a lot of black people. It's really gonna be more of the oranges than it is gonna be apples, man.
yeah,
They just ain't gonna admit it out loud, but it's definitely gonna affect more of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's why I always tell skill, man. You got to get them skills up, man. Um, High school diploma ain't enough in 2025. It really been longer than that, but definitely now it ain't gonna be enough, man. You got to get your skills up because even in the inner city, I think most people don't like admitting this out loud. They always talk about start your own business, but it's not as easy as it sounds or how they make it look on social media. You know what I'm saying? The
yeah,
paperwork, the permits, depending on what business you in, the permits. They say what 70% of restaurants close down the first year because they can't afford the margins and how much it costs to run a restaurant and stuff like that because it's
yeah.
so
The price
expensive.
is going up for everything every
Yes.
year. If you
Yeah.
don't get your more education or skills, the price is still going up. The price of houses go up every year. You know what I mean? For the same thing, for $100,000 house 2 years ago, cost 150. Cost
Yeah.
almost 200,000. So,
Yeah. You need something fixed. That go up too.
oh yeah,
It used to be
everything.
$50 for a call out. Now it's $100. This ain't even including how much it costs to fix it. We talking about just the call out. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, man. Gas going up. $20 may not even get you half a tank, depending on what you drive. It may get you a quarter of a tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we lived in the days where you can just we used to ride around on $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We saw that, and now
yeah,
$5 can't get you down the street.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, some people do, man, have that disadvantage, like you was saying, like families, they get on through a family member, but That's starting to change, man. That we're gonna talk about that here later though. The job market's starting to change, man. I don't know if it's better or for worse, but it's definitely starting to change though.
Mm,
All right, guys, the next one is pick one. Poetic justice or do the right thing?
probably do the right thing.
I like do the right thing. The message, where it came from at the time it came,
Yeah.
Spike Lee. But I saw Poet Justice more. You know what I mean? I could see them, those people, those characters in my life. It
Yeah.
meant more to me. So
Mm,
I'm
Yeah.
going with Poet Justice personally.
mm.
Yeah. Who you going with, Bill?
I'm probably do the right thing, even though
Yeah.
I'm like I didn't watch Poetic Justice more, but yeah, do the right thing was just it was a good era. That was a good era. Like
He said, like you say, do the right thing. More of a broad-based story. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think if you like drama, I think most people will like Poetic Justice, the drama and everything. It's kind of a long movie if you don't like drama, but yeah. Do the Right Thing had the music and everything, different angles and stuff like that. It had about 3 or 4 life stories within the story, like the pizza
yeah,
dude, Radio Raheem, you know what I'm saying? Even him, Spike Lee.
yeah, dang, stepped on my jazz.
Boy,
Ah,
man. Fight the Power, boy, they played that song so much, they wore that song out in that movie, man. Man.
it's that
they just
cousin
want you
Pete.
to get it. You know, you need to know.
Yeah. But let
Cousin.
us know in the comments who you got, Poetic Justice or Do the Right Thing. 2 more slides. So, what do you predict the job scene will change in the future? How you think it's gonna go?
Man, there's gonna be
That's
so
starting
It's
to
gonna
change right
go.
now.
I think it's gonna go more toward technology, but
Hmm.
we still need um, the face-to-face jobs. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't know how the pay is
Yeah.
gonna increase because we
Right.
all need CNAs, phlebotomists, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But we're not paying them a livable wage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you increase that stuff that we need,
Hmm.
we're gonna have a problem.
yeah,
Yep. What you think,
pretty
Bill?
much. Like they're gonna cut down on people. I know that
Oh,
for a
100%.
fact. You know,
Yeah.
do more work, less pay. Then right now, I'm seeing that they're going back to using temps more now.
Mm.
Cut the
A,
cost.
ro- a
Yeah. I
robot
think.
can't wipe your butt. A
Yeah. I
robot
think a lot of.
ain't gonna tell your mom, grandma a
Yeah.
story to make her go to sleep.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of companies' profits are being affected. People not spending money like they used to. Especially like jobs where they depended on people like even I think even McDonald's, even though you see a lot of people there, but I still think they still hurt a little bit because people not buying like they used to.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I think
and,
I I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Because
okay.
some people, the people, are still making loads of money. You know what I mean? But you're right, they're not spending it. The mid range people that kept the country going,
Yeah.
that spent money, aren't making money no more.
Yeah, so it will probably become more common for people to have 2+ jobs in the future just to maintain a livable wage. But that's the
Amen.
thing, man. A lot of times that's cool when you in your 20s, man. But when you start getting in your 30s and 40s, boy, that's a grind, boy. Ain't as easy as it sounds. But yeah, I can see that too. Like I think the people that are making the money, they're not spending it as much because they can afford the extra stuff. They can buy the stuff to cook with. Versus if you only making just enough to get by, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people. I think more of those people go to McDonald's
Yep.
probably than the actual people that make money because they only go there as a luxury, like if they want to. But I think the people who go there like in the morning, you want to instead of cooking breakfast, you just go get a dollar sausage biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Something like that instead of sitting there making it at home because you got to
Y'all
wake up
thinking
early.
$2
You got to
sausage
wake,
biscuit. It used to
huh?
be a dollar. It used to be a dollar.
Yeah, and I think more jobs. it seems like you got to know how to use a computer now. Like you don't have to work in IT, but it seems like you still have to learn how to use a computer, some kind of tech to do your job. Whether it's scanners, computers, printers, you got to know something about something that plugs into a wall or got some kind of power to it. It ain't just hands on like manual labor. That stuff's starting to go away more and more. As the years go by. You know what I'm saying? And
It's not,
you don't
but
think so?
it's still no. It's still a computer. You wipe somebody's butt. You gotta type into the computer how many turds they had.
Right.
You fix a roof. You still gotta enter somebody's email.
But
You
what I'm
fix that.
saying is
You
how
fix that
many
roof.
how many black roofing companies have you saw in the past 3 or 4 years?
Hey, um, got a point
Yeah.
there. You know
While
what I
they
mean?
talking about doing all this ice
You're,
deportation, who gonna cut the trees down? Who gonna do the roofing?
but
Who gonna redo the concrete?
your point was everything's going digital,
Yeah.
but every part at every job can be digital, but every
But it's
job
gonna
got
be
a
digital
digital
part. It's
component.
gonna be digital
Yeah,
parts to it. Even like if
yeah,
you're doing
for
concrete,
sure, yeah.
instead of writing it out, you rather would be do it on the computer so you can do it faster. You know what I'm saying? You can calculate faster when you give an estimate instead of writing it all down. Trying to do,
Yeah,
you can
and
have a calculator, a concrete calculator on the computer that'll do it faster for you. That's what I'm
take
saying.
a picture
Like
and
something
they,
like
they
that.
can square off these angles and stuff like that. So
Yeah. And then another thing, like Bill say, even with this bill cutting Medicaid, layoffs are coming. Whether people want to agree with it or not, it's coming.
Mm.
They say you always need somebody to clean the bathroom. Unfortunately, man, people that do that though, they don't pay them enough, but they got access to so much stuff, which is crazy. They'll pay somebody. Generally, they'll pay somebody, custodian or something, like 35, if you get that. You know what I'm saying? You make it 25. But you got access to so much stuff, So you pretty much the whole school. You got access to the whole school, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, but
because
Yeah.
they
yeah,
don't
man.
want to pay you, but you get all their power. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's unreal. Yeah, you
uh,
know a lot too. Yeah, you hear everything. Yeah, for real. You're
Yeah.
almost like the principal's right hand man, but you don't get paid to be the right hand man. It's pretty crazy. And that's another thing too, man. Is I know I seen it with the state early too. Is a lot of positions you get into, they'll lock you in at that number. Let's say you like get locked in at 40. And unless you find another position that pays more than 40, you'll be at 40 until you find something else. You know what I'm saying? Or they do like a cost of living raise, which is rare. Sometimes they do, but it's rare. And that's only what 1%, maybe 3% at best. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, so it ain't the wild, wild west of making money like it used to be, man. You got to be smart out there. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
definitely got to be smart. Find out what pays and what don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why we telling you do the research. There's so much data out there now. It's impossible not to do the research. It's just if you want to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like going to school for something or trade in something you're not gonna be committed to. You gotta ask yourself there, what am I willing to commit to? You know what I'm saying? And stay committed to it no matter what happens. This is gonna be the career field that I'm gonna go in. Cause I know
yeah,
I struggled with that when I was younger. The commitment part, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and you gonna owe somebody $100,000. You know what I mean? Whether you go to school or you don't.
Yeah,
So trying to beat that debt, play that debt game. I don't want to take a
yeah.
so long. You gonna owe somebody something.
Somebody something. Your time or money. One of the two. Even if you do an apprenticeship, they'll pay for you, but you gotta work so many hours, like, in order to get to the journeyman level. You know what I'm saying? And you get paid to learn, but you're paying with time, your labor. You know what I'm saying? They're going to work you for those years to get to your journeyman, but you gotta stay committed. Cause if you say, oh man, I don't want to do this no more, now you start back over at zero. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting to the 3 or 4 year mark and be a journeyman. So that's something to think about too.
Mm.
So anything else, man, before we move to this last slide, guys?
No. I don't need.
Oh, that was the last slide. I'm tripping. So before we get up out of here, thinking about sports, man, what y'all thinking about, man? With sports coming up, man? Who you got, man? Football this season, man. What y'all thinking, man?
All right. Go Pack, go. That's it.
Is Jordan Love? Did they re-sign him?
Yup. No, he got a
Okay.
nice, yeah, he got a nice little contract last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go for the Raiders, but I don't think that nobody's made the moves
Nobody.
required to stop the Eagles. Nobody's made
No.
any moves
Ooh.
to stop the Eagles'
Ooh.
depth
They done
or
got better.
Yeah.
their
What?
organization. Jalen is gonna be in the offense another year.
Yeah.
He's getting better and better every year. They're the best running back in football.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think nobody can compete with that. The Chiefs are still good. They're still good.
Yeah.
We'll see what they get.
I think the salary cap is killing the Chiefs right now. You know what I'm saying? They only got so much money they can work with. And I think
But
that's what's killing
they don't
them.
get no players. You know what I mean? How they ain't got no money, but they ain't got no players either. You know that's
Sometimes you could
crazy.
buy the wrong stuff and you stuck with it. You could
Yep.
buy the wrong stuff and you stuck with it. You know
Yep,
what I'm saying?
and that's
Yeah.
gonna be the Chiefs' Achilles heel. But I think the Eagles did all the right things and they came
Yeah.
together
They
I
got
agree.
young
Yeah, they
too.
towards
did.
them last year. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because what's
they
that,
got a
Pill?
bunch, they got a bunch of younger players too. It's
Is
one
Green Bay, are they starting to rebuild around Jordan? Oh.
yeah, this is the first year I think they actually got somebody. The
Okay.
wide
Okay.
receivers and stuff.
Okay.
And
I know the Raiders, y'all got Gino, right? Y'all got old boy from Seattle, man. They should have got Shador, man. I don't know why they didn't get Shador, man.
yeah, that was so stupid trying to make a point to not draft Shador was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Everybody was attached to it. Every team in the NFL had a part to play in that racism.
yeah,
I don't know if they don't like his dad. Everybody skipped down on him and let the Browns cash out.
yeah.
So do you think that on both sides could have done some things better, or you think it was just a one-sided situation?
Of course, both sides could have done something better. Shador's side could have done something better, been more humble. But why should you have to shrink yourself to fit in this thing? You know what I mean? To be
You shouldn't have
great.
to trick yourself, but like we always talk about, you can do whatever you want to do, but it's something that comes with everything, every
Yeah.
choice you
So
make,
I
right?
think I'm glad he paid the price. Did do it your way. Be a man. He's going to start with
No,
the
they talking about he might
Browns.
get cut with the Browns. I thought they said he might get cut. He gonna start?
I didn't hear that and I didn't see that.
There was a lot of reports coming out said he might get cut.
No, that because they're slanted. You know what I mean? They have an agenda. They want him to be. They want him to be bad.
I think
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I mean?
teams probably
But he's
want
working
him
hard.
because so they can get him now that the draft is over. I think some teams out there that wanted to get him. I don't know why they just didn't, but I think some other teams
They
out
should
there
have.
yeah, they should have 100%.
I think it's a form of control. You know,
Oh,
Exactly.
100%.
you can't control somebody that already got money.
That's
Exactly.
true too.
But it's cool when they do it. You know what I mean? The
Right.
Mannings can do it. You know what I mean? It's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let a Sanders do it. Somebody named Shador. Yeah.
But shout out to him for balling out, even under them circumstances. He's still up there balling out in Cleveland, man. You know, a lot of dudes would have
Amen.
tapped out. Yeah, he
Amen.
balled out, man. But yeah, man, when you playing that game,
do a little hissy fit. You know what I mean? A tantrum on TV.
yeah,
Give him something to talk about. But he did. He stayed humble, kept his head down. He still got drafted. And he's going to show him. You know what I mean?
For sure.
What the NFL wholesale intelligence
for sure.
had to show.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the Thinkin Game Podcast. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Let us know any topics you want to hear us talk about. Jay, Peel, Mike, we sign out. Anything y'all want to say before we sign out?
Yeah.
See you.
Lakers in 5.
Amen.
Well, the Lakers in 5.
There can be only one.